Well, as the door closes, we're here for another night in the runner's hut. Sit back, relax, and let me tell you a story. A story that is puzzling, as you can say. A story about loss, regret, betrayal. Join me as I tell you the tale of the Maze Runner timeline. I'm about to tell you a story, a chain of events that will run us down corridors of pain, misery, betrayal, regret, and hope. This is the story of a kid like any other, but what makes him different from the rest is his unwillingness to give up. He has no name, but everybody knows his deeds. He will lose all memory, but will never lose his mission. He is the Maze Runner, and this is the story of the Maze Trials. The flares. The sun has scorched the earth, and most of the human race has been killed by fire and famine. The survivors now have to deal with the limited resources, and the newly formed PFC Post-Flare Coalition has to make a decision on how to ration the remaining food the world has left. According to the Killzone book and the comics, the Post-Flare Coalition decided to use a virus to wipe out a certain genotype in a certain group of people. Even though objections arose, the Project Flare virus was approved. The hero. While the PFC was distributing the flare virus around the world, a young man with no name is surviving the aftermath of the sun flares in Canada. The young man lives with his father and his best friend Nicholas in a cabin in the woods. His father is a drunk who was not the best father figure to his son. However, he was a planner, and he prepared for the worst. The father of our main character built a bunker just in case something or someone came to threaten his life. The PFC would arrive to the area and attack local settlements with the flare virus. Unfortunately for one of the PFC vertebrates, they crashed for unknown reasons, and they crash in the woods of our main character's cabin. Our hero wakes up to the sound of a crashing vertebrate, runs downstairs to find his father is nowhere to be found. The only thing hinting to what happened to his father is a bottle of whiskey that is empty, and a note saying, "I'm sorry, son. I'm a terrible father for leaving you." The father of our main character is gone, and now the Maze Runner must escape the fires outside his cabin. The Maze Runner will escape the burning trees and be brought to a Wicked facility where he does tests and is taken care of by Wicked. Then one day a Wicked guard informs the Maze Runner and his friend Nicholas the higher-ups in Wicked have the flare virus and have been hiding it from everyone. You now have to reenact the purge from the Maze Runner books and kill all infected Wicked staff members. After the Maze Runner and Nicholas kill the infected staff, they are reassigned to Site A, Maze Trials, in order to help build it for the good of humanity. The Maze Runner and Nicholas comply and help with the maze, but unfortunately destroy Section 8 in the process. This would get them reassigned to a different task, and they wouldn't be asked to help again until years later. Years later, the Maze Trials are up and running, and their first test subject has almost gotten himself killed. Albie is in the maze and has tried to kill himself, and Wicked has ordered the Maze Runner to go find him and to save him. The Maze Runner succeeds in his mission and returns to Wicked, but something happens in the time that makes the Maze Runner doubt Wicked's intentions and their motives to finding a cure. He and Nicholas believe Wicked has gone too far with the Maze Trials, and they escape Wicked. Nick and the Maze Runner try to survive the Scorch and somehow attack Wicked. The Maze Runner finds a way by finding a Wicked bunker and resistance fighters who want to stop Wicked just like he does. They offer a ride in the Wicked Vertebrate they stole in and offer the Maze Runner a home if he helped in taking down a Wicked fleet. The Maze Runner and Nick agree, and they successfully destroy the fleet. The two friends would find the camp of the Right Arm, a group of people known for being Wicked's #1 haters. The Right Arm offers some chores for the Maze Runner while Nick walks off to stand on top of a hill. The Maze Runner does the chores he is asked and he is happy. However, Nick hasn't been completely honest with his best friend. Nick radios Wicked the location of the Right Arm and betrays everyone, stating he had to make sure everyone was safe. Wicked is good. The words echoed in the head of the Maze Runner as he saw the flying battleship coming down to capture or kill everyone in the Right Arm camp. The Maze Runner does his best to fight off Wicked, and is able to save some of his friends from being captured, but most of the Right Arm is dead, and he has been captured by Wicked as well. The Maze Runner is hauled off to Wicked facility and will later be sent into the Maze trials. The Maze. Before the Maze Runner does enter the trials, another character has already entered the trials for almost the same punishment. Thomas, a kid who the Maze Runner never met in person, but saw while passing by in the Wicked labs. Thomas betrayed Wicked as well by giving the right arm information on Wicked labs, trials, and safe zones. For his punishment, he was sent into Maze Site A. Thomas would do like he does in the movie, but Ben would not die, and Albie would not die. Thomas would kill the Griever and take the key to Section 7, but it didn't do anything, or Thomas came back to the Glade. And he didn't go any further to check up on what the Griever key does. It's weird. It is unclear, but what we do know in this universe is the Maze trials continue for another month without incident until the trial experiments rebelled. According to notes found in Trial 4, the Section 7 experiment was able to convince the other experiments to rebel against their creators and kill them. Trial 4 and 5 experiments did the most damage by destroying the generators and killing most of the staff. We find books in Section 1 saying an earthquake helped in the downfall of Site A and helped with the experiment's release. Whatever truly happened is a mystery, but we know Wicked is no longer on Site A unless they were abandoned during the evacuation. Now the trials are abandoned and the Gladers do not have that many runners left to attempt the sections. They need someone brave, someone bold, someone who has little disregard for his own well-being. They need the Maze Runner. The Maze Runner would enter the box a month after Thomas and would become the latest runner to the team, and with his help, the runners would explore the maze better than anyone else has before. The Maze Runner would also become well acquainted with the other Gladers and would form friendships with some such as Newt, Thomas, Chuck, Albie, and Gally. The Maze Runner would become a runner by either doing something as great as Thomas or would just join after a certain amount of time. Either way, the Maze Runner would become a runner and would complete the maze trials one by one. Thanks to the NPCs found in the Glade talking about the new greenie everyone's talking about, or passing comments that are talking to an individual, we can believe the NPCs are talking to an individual person who has done a lot in the short amount of time he has been here. I covered this theory in a previous video about all the players who play the server are really just acting as the Maze Runner, as I call him. Anywho, the Maze Runner would complete Trial 4 and would see the remains of the Wicked staff and their final reports. He would continue doing the trials, going on to completing Section 3, then 1, 2, 6, 5, and now Section 8. While the Maze Runner has been running the maze, Wicked has lost more safe zones due to unknown reasons. There is reason to believe the Gladers will be able to escape the maze and Wicked without interference. The Maze Runner has but only one trial left to solve in order to escape this nightmare. But Trial 7 is said to have the worst experiment ever. The Section 7 experiment that destroyed the maze and the Wicked staff on Site A in the first place is waiting for him. We don't know what it is or what it does, except it can talk to other experiments. We do not know if Wicked will return either. The reason why we might not think Wicked will return to the maze is because of the destruction done at Site A. Whatever the Wicked experiment is in Section 7, it did enough damage to kill all staff at Site A, and it was able to make sure they would not be able to reclaim the maze easily. We have evidence for this by reading Section 5, Section 4, and Section 8 books. Dr. Z gives the most detail on the incident. He details how Section 7 experiment has talked to other experiments in rebelling. Section 4 experiment destroyed the generators to the maze, and Section 5 was killing all the staff. Trial 2 also shows generators and laboratories being destroyed by the experiment during the incident. When all staff evacuated the area, they did not stop to help any of their fellow Wicked members, instead left them behind. This means that Wicked either has an influx of staff so Wicked doesn't care if they lose 40 or 50 staff members, or Wicked is so spread out they do not have the resources to help their fellow Wicked members trapped in the maze. Instead, we the Gladers have helped out Wicked staff members escape the maze, such as when Trial 8 was opening, we helped a college student of Wicked escape. These are the events that have transpired for over 3 years. Wicked appears to have more power than in the books or the movies combined because they destroyed the right arm, and yet they seem to be even weaker than the previously thought. Wicked has lost control over multiple safe zones outside the maze in the Scorch. We know this because of the intercepted transmissions shown to the Gladers during Section 8's opening. We also know Wicked still has some control over the maze. When exploring Section 8's depths, we find a book from a Wicked employee saying he helped in opening Section 8 trial for the Gladers. Then this Wicked member just left. So, from this book, we know Wicked can come and go as they please, but they do not have enough power to take the maze back. The escape. So where does that leave us? We are still trapped in a forever changing maze, with monsters trying to kill us whenever we let down our guard. We have infected Banish trying to kill and steal from the Glade whenever they sense an opportunity. We still can't find the exit to the maze either. But there is hope. A group known as the Exiled... Wait a minute. Who edited my notes? Sleepy! There is hope. The Maze Runner has completed all the trials but one, Section 7 itself. All the trial bosses have been neutralized and other trials have been restored to working order. All he has to do is solve Section 7 and the Gladers may have a chance of escape. Debatable. I have one or two theories for the future of cakecraft and... Oh wait, sorry. MazeRP. We will either escape the maze and Wicked will be nowhere to be found. With Wicked being so spread out with the resources, it is believable they may not have enough manpower to fetch us up. Theory 2. Wicked will greet us at the exit and we will be at their mercy. Wicked will be able to send us back into the maze again if they so choose to. Or they may send us off to something even worse. We truly don't know. With the lore of the maze being both the books and the movies, cakecraft staff can come up with anything they want. It's their story, and we are just here for the ride. Anywho, I hope you have enjoyed this Maze Runner theory video. An amazing theory video. Thanks for watching. There you have it. Don't forget, never stop running.